During Straight Down at Houston Arcade Expo 2023, Hal Hawkins was generous enough to grant us some time. Here's our interview with Hal Hawkins, founder of Retro World Series.
Hey, this is Sam from SoftwareAgentsHQ, and I'm here with Hal from Retro World Series. Thanks for talking with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. First, could you introduce the crowd to what you do and what Retro World Series is?
I'm the owner and founder of the Retro World Series. We are dedicated to retro esports, bringing competition for old school games to people across the country, hopefully around the world.
What made you want to do this in the first place?
I love competition. I love old school games. No one else seemed to be doing something like this. There seem to be pockets here and there around the regions for one game or another, but nobody dedicated to bringing all kinds of or competition for all kinds of games. And we've got a list of tons of games that we bring people in to play, and they don't even realize that this could have been a tournament a long time ago. And we're 30, 40 years later, we're making old school games competitive and fun again.
Yeah, and one of the more interesting things is usually with like retro competitions, I usually see like fighting games or maybe something like Mario Kart. But you do some of that, but you go beyond that. Like we just watched the Pong, something a little out there. I know that's how my brother got interested. That sometimes you just have some pretty strange picks.
Yeah, we sometimes it depends on the audience. Here, it's a different crowd, a little more casual, a little older audience. So we go for the older style games. It doesn't always have to be hardcore competition. Casual competition's good. Pong, I thought it was just going to be kind of chill and relaxing. That was super intense, and maybe we have to do that more often. But there's a lot of different games that require different skill levels. It's difficult to master, and people, but at the same time, it's still fun. And anybody can come in and sit down and play. It's a lot easier to learn than the newer games, and so. People are, who played these games as a kid. They were competing as kids, playing their friends, their neighbors, their family, and this is a nostalgic experience where they're like experiencing that same kind of couch competition all over again. In fact, I should probably have a couch here. I wish I had room to bring one.
Yeah, that'd actually be a pretty good idea for the future for a setup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess I got to consider if I can bring a couch now. So.
And then what requirements are there for a game to be in your competitions? Because I think I've heard you mention that they have to be older. You want to try to stray away from more modern things just so you can keep the retro energy alive.
So I'll spare the technical definition we have. You can go to our website to see our definition of retro, what a retro game is. But we max out at PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox, that era, and basically we want people to play games that were meant for old school CRTs that were designed to be on standard definition and that still use old analog connections to play.
And when did you start doing the Retro World Series?
I started this in 2016, so this has been going strong for 7 years now. And we started it here just outside of Houston in College Station, and we've grown. We go all over the country now. We partner with conventions, Vegas, Atlanta, here in Houston, Dallas, Phoenix. We go all over the place, and they keep bringing us back because we give a great competitive experience. We give a great old school gaming experience.
Yeah, it's definitely been nice to go, and I was at the Comic Palooza one, and I always try to go at the expo.
I keep seeing y'all. I love it when people just keep returning and keep traveling to find us. We have players now that based in other states that travel just to play in our tournaments, and it's great to see it grow. This year we're going to have over 1,000 players for the season, and that's a record. And next goal is 2,000. So.
And then for the first one that you did, was it also at a convention or was it like a special event in College Station?
So I actually started out promoting it at conventions. I would go get a booth, hold smaller tournaments, and then I held a special event here in Houston in 2016. And then conventions saw what I was doing. They liked the experience I was creating for players, and no one else was doing it. And so started reaching out, connecting with these guys, and developing business relationships with them. And I've been going to the same conventions for years now, and it's great to have that following now and that loyalty with conventions to where people come and expect us to be there every year.
And then what would you say is different from when you first started in College Station to today?
A little bit different is people actually understanding what this is. I don't think a lot of people understood it, and now they do. But also, it's providing a consistent experience and showing people what is capable, what the potential of competition for retro gaming, and showing people a good time so that they want to come back, and that they bring their friends. It grows that way, and people start seeing us on YouTube, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't realize someone was doing tournaments for Tekken 3 or Super Mario Kart." They want to experience it, and so there's been trial and error, figuring out what the best kind of rules are for a different game, especially if you're not super familiar with it, or the right kind of console or equipment that players want to experience the game on. But I think we've created a great system in figuring that out, and we're always tinkering, experimenting a little to give a better experience for players. But I think it's starting to mature into something really good.
Yeah, I would say when I've gone to them, they are very consistent, and there's definitely the quality there. And I definitely appreciate that they're double elimination from what I've done, so that people can actually participate. And then I've been able to go through the losers bracket and take a couple more wins.
I do that. I want people to be able to play. I don't want them to be one and done. But also, a lot of people haven't played these games in years, so that first loss is gives. All right, now they have a chance. They've learned, oh, now I remember how to play it, and then they have a chance to get through the losers bracket and keep learning, keep getting better at the game like they used to be.
And what would you say is the most successful game from the series so far?
We get our best turnout from probably Smash 64, Mario Kart 64, and Super Mario Kart. Tekken 3 is pretty good. Tetris and Dr. Mario are pretty popular. We've had great Miss Pac-Man tournaments. People don't realize there's actually a competitive mode for that, and so Mario Tennis is another good one. NFL Blitz. Those there's some sports games in there that are really popular, but I would say those are the top tier right now. Halo, can't forget Halo. Halo and Halo 2. That's another top tier right there.
Do you have a personal favorite of the games that you would normally bring to your events?
I'm an NBA Jam guy. That's my game. So I don't have tournaments for a lot of it, but anybody ever wants to come play me in NBA Jam, I'm more than happy to sit down and play with you.
That sounds good. You should try to do it at a future event.
Yeah.
And so you said something about trial and error when it came to doing better throughout.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the biggest challenges of running Retro World Series?
Part of it is learning what the players are used to playing on. Back in the day, there were ports for everything. So you had to figure out what was the best port, that was true to the arcade game, that sort of thing. Or, did people mainly play it on, it was, the old Nintendo versus Genesis thing. All right, do we set it up for that? And then, we've learned that, it's like fighting games. People want the true arcade experience. So we've upgraded our equipment to misters and so that we can provide that real arcade experience. And then, there are times where, you learn that there are communities that already exist for certain games, and you have to be gentle in entering those communities, because sometimes they can be a little bit overprotective of their communities, and so you got to show them that, hey, I'm not trying to steal what you got. I'm just trying to grow what you've got. And so getting involved in the Pokemon Puzzle League community, the Smash 64 community, sometimes there's pushback. Sometimes people are super happy to have you in there. And it's just, you just got to network, talk to the right people, develop relationships, and show people that you're capable of running good tournaments and that you understand and appreciate, respect the game.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. But definitely, if you show support and then you show that you care, I don't see why not. You can do a Smash Brothers tournament, even if you're not as invested at it. It's compared to other games if you want to just do something unique.
I mean, I'll straight admit, I played Smash when in high school, junior high, and I was all right with it, but I couldn't afford it. We rented it from Blockbuster, and so I didn't get to play it a whole lot. I haven't been in the community for forever, but I see the love for the game, and I want people, regardless of whether it's Pong or Mario Brothers or Smash, I want people to be able to experience the games they love and be able to play against each other and push themselves to be as best as they can at it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good outlet because you can't play those games online unless you go through a lot of work on the computer, and probably if you're really into it, you want the real legitimate experience.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better experience than sitting down with other people in person in front of a TV and playing those old school games together. I can't think of a better video gaming experience than that.
And then it's even nicer that you're able to stream it and you have your camera, and then it's really cool.
That's been a big challenge, is making sure that you can stream these old signals and get it to HDMI in a good quality, and because that's the thing I'm all about quality when it comes to that. I want the best equipment possible.
And when did you start getting the banners and the curtains? Like, how
It's
long?
been a growing process. It started in 2016. I got some of that, and then as I started getting bigger and bigger spaces at these conventions, where I'm upwards of 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet. You got to let people know you're there and who you are. A lot of people just thought I was just the retro gaming area, but they didn't see the brand, and so I wanted people to see Retro World Series and recognize it, that this is its own entity that's doing trying to do a really unique thing. And so over the years, it's just been a steady accumulation and tinkering around, trying to figure out the best location to put signs, banners, so people see it and they come and they want to play because they know it's the Retro World Series.
Yeah, I think that streaming is a big thing, and then also I know that you're always trying to commit to uploading the VODs so that players can see how they did, or people who didn't get to come can watch.
And I try to include. I'll stream losers bracket first round, because I see little kids that are playing. Their parents brought them and they've never played before and they've never been on a stage or something like that. And I'm like, I know what it was like. I got to do that as a kid in high school and all that, but not everybody gets that kind of experience. And I want even the most novice player to be able to be on the big stage and be streamed, to be on, be able to go back and go, that was my first, Mario Kart tournament ever. And so they can always go back and look and see what they played the first time, and hopefully they're still playing it and getting better at it, and next time they get on the main stage with us, they're going to win.
I was pretty happy. Then this tournament series has made me more interested into getting back into that Smash.
Awesome. Well, I hope see you again at more tournaments.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess two more questions. One would be, what's your favorite thing or most rewarding thing out of doing this?
I would say seeing a big crowd of people standing in front of a stage, just cheering and rooting for people. And I mean, I love regulars, I love sports. I was a college athlete. I liked being in front of a crowd and hearing cheers and winning games and championships, and seeing that experience for people and handing them that trophy that they've probably never held before, and being able to raise it up, getting their picture taken, and seeing how happy they are. That's the best experience. And seeing their family members and their friends around them congratulating them, that's a pretty awesome experience. And it's something I want. That's the experience I want to give people.
Yeah, I think the medals help a lot. It's pretty cool, and then it makes people want to play.
You got to come to Vegas where we actually have trophies. So that's a fun experience right there.
That sounds pretty nice.
Yeah. And that'll be in April. So you got to come. You got scheduled to come to Vegas.
So where is it at?
Level Up Expo, April 26th to 28th. That is where we end each season. We end it in Vegas. We have special trophies for each tournament. We announce a player of the year, because the more tournaments you play in, the better you do. You accumulate points, and we have a ranking system. And so players from all over the country will come in and try and win that trophy for player of the year.
Okay. Sounds really fun. And my last question would be, what are your top 3 retro games?
Like I said, NBA Jam. I loved Tecmo Bowl growing up, original Tecmo Bowl. That was definitely my game. And then I would say I played a lot of NFL Blitz too. I was into sports games. I played tons of Mario Tennis, but top 3 probably would be NBA Jam, Tecmo Bowl, and NFL Blitz. So.
And thanks so much for talking with us today.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we'll definitely be coming out the next expo and whatever we can.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.